What's up, everybody? This is Jason, and you're listening to a special announcement episode of the Unsung Podcast. Back in January, I told you I was about to start work on an audiobook, and I'm happy to tell you that is now complete. And I just want to tell you a little bit about it. It's called Medicine Woman. It's a fast-paced, gritty, pulp Western adventure novel. The author is a fellow Substacker named Frank Kidd, and I'll link his stuff in the show notes. I'll also read for you here the back of the book synopsis, in my narration voice, by the way. It says, quote, Levi Thurston, mountain man... Just kidding, that's not my narration voice. Quote, Levi Thurston, mountain man, wanderer, Indian fighter. He haunts the wide-open places of a newly opened West. His only companions, a reluctant coy dog and a hawk and rifle. When he is ambushed by Ute warriors, Levi takes shelter in a sacred burial ground. Convinced he has caught a curse, he must seek out a Blackfoot medicine woman, the young and beautiful Apaniaki, daughter of Chief Black Crow, to help lift it. But what starts out as a simple enough quest devolves into a fight for his life and an unexpected love as Levi finds himself caught in the middle of warring tribes. End quote. Now, I've read this book, of course, and I enjoyed it a lot. It's not what you'd call a young adult novel, but it is a book that 13-year-old me would have thoroughly enjoyed. All the more so because it has some content that's probably not appropriate for a 13-year-old. That's not to say there's anything weird or over the top in it. The romance is tasteful, and the violence is likewise gritty and realistic for the American frontier in the 19th century, but not over the top. And 20 years later, 33-year-old me thoroughly enjoyed it too. Medicine Woman is available on Audible, Amazon, and Apple Books, and I hope that piques your interest enough to go pick it up. I'll have all those linked in the show notes so you can go get it on your platform of choice. I hope you do. If you like the kind of stuff I talk about on this show, you'll enjoy it. And if you like Western adventure in the vein of Zane Grey and Louis L'Amour, you'll enjoy it too. Now, a word about audiobooks. Back when I brought up the idea of doing this audiobook to Frank, I'd already read the book and enjoyed it, and I asked him, have you ever thought of making your book into an audiobook? And he said, yes, absolutely. And he told me that the main obstacle to doing that was the upfront cost of getting a narrator. In the audiobook world, the narrator usually gets paid by some combination of an upfront rate, which is, X dollars per finished hour of narration, and royalties, or a percentage of the sales revenue. Well, Frank is an independent, self-published author. He doesn't have big budgets for marketing and production and all that, and from what he told me, that upfront cost for audiobook narration is a real barrier for independent, self-published authors. Depending on how long the book is and what the rate is, that could easily run you into the thousands of dollars. So unless they want to narrate their own book, which is an option for sure, but not everybody has the voice for that, or the inclination, or the time and skill to do the editing, or whatever. So when Frank told me that, I said, well, I know a guy who I've been told has at least a passable podcast voice, editing skills, and would narrate your book for a royalty share only, no upfront cost. That guy is me. So ever since we talked about it and agreed to do this, I've been thinking maybe this is a niche I could break into. I'm sure there are lots more indie authors out there who would like to turn their books into audiobooks but don't want to narrate it themselves and don't have the budget to hire a professional voice actor or something. And in fact, since starting on this project, I've already lined up 4 more novels and a short story collection for future narration projects. I won't tell you what those are yet, but I've already started on the next one, so stay tuned for that, and I'll put out another announcement once it's done. So if you're hearing this and you're an indie author who'd like to turn your book into an audiobook and you think my voice fits your book, you know where to find me. You can email me at unsung.substack@gmail.com, or you can shoot me a DM over on Substack. The link to that is in the show notes. I'll remind you, I'm not a professional voice actor or anything like that. When it comes to voice, what you hear right now is pretty much what you're going to get, although it probably does sound a little bit different when I'm reading from a book as opposed to just talking on my own. So the best way to find out if my voice would be a good fit for your book is to go pick up the Medicine Woman audiobook, written by Frank Kidd, narrated by yours truly, and give it a listen. Again, all the links are in the show notes. I hope you'll pick it up, and I'll see you next time on the Unsung Podcast.